Hello guys, welcome back again with me. In this video, I will give some presentation and practice about MikroTik. In the last video, I was giving some presentation about VPN tunneling, and now I will give some presentation and practice about failover load balance. So let's go to the presentation. In the chapter 12, which is failover and load balance, I will explain about the concept and then failover concept, case study, and then load balance concept and the case study. So first, the concept is when the company has two-way line to the internet or simply have an internet line using two ESP. So for the failover is one active and the other one is for the backup. So for example, if the ESP1 have some trouble, the MikroTik will change the priority ESP to the ESP2. And for the load balance is both activated. So the client can use the internet using IP of ESP2 or IP of ESP1. And next is the failover. So for the concept is there are two internet access line to the ESP with criteria one active and one backup. The active one is only one, and if you want to switch to using the internet the other internet line, you can play the distance parameter. If the main link is down, the internet line will be switched using the backup link. And to configure the priority, you can go to parameters, and then there is check distance, and there is distance or using a script. So next I will do the case study, which is simple configuration change the distance parameter and the check gateway RP or ICMP. So let's go to the practice, and you can open your topology, and in here I've using the network cloud NAT. So the IP that I will get is 10.x.x.x. Wait, I'm using the cloud NAT, and in here you can add to router MikroTik that I will set as the ESP. So I have two ESP, which is ESP1 and ESP2, and then you can add an router that it is as the client. I will set it MikroTik client, and the camo option is blind, then click save, and you can turn it on, and you can connect the MikroTik client to the ESP. So the client have to line network, and then I will add a client in here using the VPC. I will add two, VPC1 and VPC2. We'll change the name in here, and after that you can turn it on and connect the VPC to the MikroTik client, and you can open the MikroTik router client. While we wait it, we can set the topology, and after it shows like this, you can login into the MikroTik. The user is admin and the password is blank because it's first time I'm using the MikroTik client. It may be say a delay. And after you open the router client, I will do the addressing in the router ESP1 and ESP2, and in the MikroTik client. For the ESP1, I will do the addressing that connects to the MikroTik client, and from the router ESP2 I will do the addressing that connects to the MikroTik client, and from the MikroTik client I will do the addressing that connects to the ESP1 and ESP2. So first you can open the router ESP, and I will use the Roman tool to connect to the MikroTik client. You can turn it on in the router ESP1 with the command tool and then Roman set enable yes, and then also do the same thing in the MikroTik client. I will set tool Roman, and after that you can open it in the Winbox, and in here the connect to is using the IP of ESP1, and click the connect to Roman, and it should show in here. Then you can click connect, and now I will do the addressing in the router ESP1. You can click add, you can click IP and then addresses, and then you can click add, and in here I will using the IP class C, which is I will using this IP, and and don't forget to change the interface is Ethernet 2, because ESP1 connects to the client using Ethernet 2, and you can click apply. In here there is some mistake, and after that I will do the addressing in the router ESP2. You can click add, and then I will using the IP class C in the router ESP2. I will use this IP, and then the interface is Ethernet 2 because router ESP2 connects to the client using Ethernet 2, and you can click apply, and I will do the addressing that connects to the ESP1 and ESP2 in the MikroTik client. You can click add and fill it with the IP that have the same network with ESP1. I will do this IP, and you can click apply. Here is the Ethernet 1 because the client connects to the ESP1 using Ethernet 1, and for the MikroTik clients that connects to the ESP2 using Ethernet 2, I will set it in here, click it, and then the IP that have the same network with ESP2, don't forget the prefix, and the interface is Ethernet 2, and you can click apply. And after that the MikroTik client now is connected with the ESP1, but if you try to ping to the internet, it cannot, because the routing table that connects to the internet haven't been set. So to configure it, you can go to IP and then routes, and then in here you can see that there is no information that connects to the internet. So I will do in here, you can click add, and the destination it is default, which is 0, and the gateway is the IP that connects to the ESP1, which is this is the IP, because the MikroTik client is connects to the 2 ESP or 2 link network. So I will do the same thing, but the IP gateway is using the IP ESP2. So I have to route the information that connects to the internet, which is I will do this IP and click apply, and it should be like this. So you can see that in here I've do the routing information that connects to the internet, And if you realize that I've been doing the failover configuration, but if there is some problem with the ESP, if the ESP1 have some trouble with the connection, it should be changed, because the ESP1 is have some problem. If I try to disable or enable, as you can see, it is automatically being changed, but it is not efficient. So you can use the distant configuration. So that means it is the priority. The more number in the distance, it is the more not priority. For example, in here I will use the distance 10, and you can click apply, and as you can see, the priority is the IP that connects to the ESP2. And if I try in the ESP2, I will set the distance into 20, and it will look like this. The ESP1 is the priority, and if I try, if the ESP2 have some problem, I will set it in here. I will show it example like this. If the Ethernet 2 that connects to the ESP2 have some problem, I will disable the Ethernet 2, and as you can see, it is automatically been changed. But if I don't set like this, maybe there is some problem, like the IP that I will get is still unstable. Sometimes it is using the IP of router 1, the ESP1. Sometimes it is using the IP of ESP2, so that the configuration it is successful. Oh, sorry, I forget to tell some information that about check gateway. That means the MikroTik will always check the gateway in here. If some ESP have some problem, and I will try to set it, I will use the check gateway tools. You can click some of the routing information, and then there is check gateway, and then you can click ping, then you can click apply, and after that you can set it in the ESP2 ESP1 ping, then you can click apply. So the check gateway tools is the MikroTik will always check the IP of the ESP. If there's any problem, the MikroTik will automatically change the interface, the link network. For example, is like I will go to interface, and then we'll turn off this IP, this Ethernet that connects to the ESP2. We'll click enable. So as you can see, it is automatically been changed. So that is the function of a check gateway tool. And now I will try to ping to the internet from the VPC1 and VPC2, and you can go to Winbox, and I will use the bridge to connect the VPC1 and VPC2 to the MikroTik client, and I want that VPC1 and VPC2 has the same IP network. And you can go to bridge and then IP, and then for the bridge I will set it default and then apply. and the port is the Ethernet 3 and 4, because VPC1 and VPC2 is using this port, and you can click apply. And after that I will do the addressing in here, which is you can go to IP and then addresses. We'll click add, and in here I will try using the IP class A, and the interface is using bridge, and apply. Sorry guys, for the interface is bridge 1, then you can apply. And I will do the firewall NAT, so the client can ping to the internet, and you can click add. And the chain is source NAT and the out interface is Ethernet 1, because the ESP1 and ESP2 the MikroTik client have to internet link, which is the ESP1 and ESP2. I will do the firewall NAT 2 times, which is that connects to the ESP1 and ESP2, and the action is masquerade, and you can click apply and OK. Next I will do the same thing, but the out interface is using the Ethernet that connects to the ESP2. The action is masquerade, and click apply and OK. And I will try using the IP DHCP server. So the IP that I will get is automatically DHCP server and then DHCP setup. The DHCP server interface is using the bridge 1. And next, then OK. And now I will try to ping to the Google in here. I will ask the DHCP IP in here, and as you can see it is successful. I will also ask the IP in here, and now I will try to ping to the internet, which is using this IP, and as you can see it is successful. And if I look at the trace with this comment, and as you can see the VPC1 is if it want to connect to the internet, it is using the ESP1 IP, which is in here from the client, MikroTik client. It is connected to the IP of ESP1, which is this is the IP of ESP1. And what if I try to using the ESP2? I will try the distance into 10, so the priority is ESP2. You apply. It is not reachable. Maybe I will try to apply again. Oh yeah, now it is turned on, and I will try to ping to the internet again with ping to 8 IP of Google. It is timeout. If there's any problem, we will check in the router ESP2. Oh sorry, in here I'm wrong to set the IP. Here's the IP, and I apply and OK, and I will try again to ping to the internet. Sorry, and now it is successful. And if I check the trace, and as you can see the VPC1 is using the IP of ESP2 from the VPC1 it is connects to the MikroTik client, and then the MikroTik client it is connected to the ESP2, and the ESP2 is connected to the internet. So the configuration is successful. And next is load balance. The concept of load balance is two active ESP links and can be used if you want to share the internet line. For example, to Facebook is using ESP1 and to YouTube is using the ESP2. And the load balance with the ECMP method, which is an improvisation of the round-robin load balance method. And the case study, I will practice the ECMP load balance configuration, and then the routing mark, and the mangle. And first, I will do the ECMP load balance configuration. So first, you can open your topology. Then you can open the MikroTik client, and you can turn off the IP route of the ESP1 and ESP2, and these two information I will turn it off, so you will not get some trouble with the ECMP method. I will turn off to disable, and then you can click add for the ECMP, and then in here the destination address is default, and but the gateway is I will add the IP of ESP1, which is this is the IP, and I will do the same thing for the I will add an IP again that connects to the ESP2. That is the ECMP method, and then you can click apply and OK. And now I will try to ping to the internet. So for the ECMP it is unstable. Sometimes it is using the IP of ESP1, and sometimes is using the IP ESP2. And we can check the trace, and as you can see it is using the IP of ESP1, ESP1. And I will try to ping to the YouTube. I will check the IP in here, command prompt. I will try to use this command, and let's look. YouTube.com. So I will choose one of the IP. I will choose this IP. I will minimize this. We'll try to ping, and then in here is 142, and as you can see the VPC2 is successful to ping to the YouTube. And I will try to check the trace of the VPC2 that connects to the YouTube. I will type trace and then the IP of YouTube, which is this. So as you can see, the VPC2 that connects to the YouTube, it is using the IP ESP2. So for the ECMP, it is unstable. It is sometimes using the IP of ESP1, and sometimes it is using the IP of ESP2. And the configuration of ECMP is successful. And what if there is some case that ESP1 only support 2 Mbps, and for the router ESP2 is only support 8 Mbps? So the comparison is like 1/4. So to configure it via bandwidth, sorry if it is using the compression bandwidth. So to configure it, you can open the MikroTik client user. In here you can click it and the gateway, because the comparison is like 1 per 4. In here you can add the gateway 3 more that connects to the ESP2. You can copy it and then click apply in here. So that means the MikroTik client will often do, if it's once looping to the internet, it will often do using the IP of VPC, the ESP2, and the if it's connected to the ESP1, it is more or less than the ESP2. So the the MikroTik will often using the ESP2 internet. And if I try to ping to the internet from the client, I will try from the VPC2. I will try to ping to the Google ping and then Google, and I will trace the IP of Google. It is using the IP of ESP2, and if I try to ping to the IP of YouTube, it is also using the IP of ESP2. Now so the configuration is successful for the bandwidth comparison. So the more of Mbps is the more often it used, or the MikroTik or the client will often do using the ESP that have more bandwidth. So the configuration is successful. And next I will configure the load balance routing mark. So it is, so I want that VPC1 is using the ESP1, and for the the VPC2 is using the ESP2. So you can go to Winbox and then you can turn off the last configuration of routing, which is this, and in here you can go to the rules, and then in here you can go click add, and for the source address, don't forget that for the routing mark, the IP of VPC must be in the static IP, so the IP will not unstable. So the IP of VPC and VPC will stable. It is only using that IP, and it is not will be changed. I will try to turn off the DHCP server. Then I will do the addressing in here using the static IP. I will set the IP in the VPC1. And don't forget the gateway. Then you can click enter. And I will set the IP DNS. So it can ping to using domain. And I will do the same thing in the VPC2. I will type the IP in here, 51, and then don't forget the IP gateway, then IP DNS. And next I will do the configuration of routing mark. You can go to IP and then routes, And then in here you can go to rules and then you can click add. And for the source address, it is the IP of VPC1. And here I will set the VPC1 first, which is this. And for the action, it is by default on lookup. And for the table, it is defined if the VPC1 wants to connect to the internet, the router MikroTik will see the table. So you will see that VPC1 is connects to the internet. It is using what ESP. So for example, it's like if VPC1 wants to connect to the Google, the MikroTik will see that VPC1 must be using which ESP. And for the table, I will try to type VPC1, then you can click apply. Then you can do the same thing for the VPC2. I will type it in here, and for the table I will use the VPC2, and you can click apply. And then you can go to routes, and in here you can click add. It is like this. Click add, and in here the destination is default. And for the gateway, I will fill it with the IP of the ESP1 that connects to the MikroTik. And in here, there is routing mark. The ESP1 it is using for VPC1, and you can click VPC1. So VPC1, if it wants to connect to the internet, it must be using the IP of ESP1. You can click apply, then OK. And you can do the same thing for the IP of ESP2 that connects ESP2 that connects to the internet. In here is the IP of the ESP2 that connects to the router MikroTik. And for the router MAC is using the VPC2 because VPC2 wants to connect to the internet using ESP2. Then you can click apply. And next I will try to ping to the internet from the VPC1. I will try to ping to the internet in here, and I will try to see the trace, and as you can see, the VPC1 is using the IP of ESP1. So VPC1, if it wants to connect to the internet, it is using the router ESP1. And I will try in the VPC2. I will try to ping to the internet, and I will see the trace. And as you can see, the VPC2 is using the IP of ESP2. So the configuration of routing mark it is successful. And next I will do the configuration of load balance mangle. So for load balance mangle, it is usually called firewall mangle because the mangle it is in the firewall. So what is the firewall mangle? So for mangle it is more efficient because it can define a packet by the protocol. And for the example, it is like management bandwidth, etc. So for example, if like VPC1 wants to connect to the internet, it must be using the ESP1 and otherwise. And if it's want to connect using domain, it must be using which ESP. So for example, it's like HTTP it must be using which ESP, and for the YouTube it must be using which ESP, and etc. And you can turn off the last configuration in the routes. I will turn it off, and the case it is same like before. We will talk about the basic. You can go to IP and then firewall and then Mango, and in here you can click add, click add, and then in here in the general, or if the chain is pre-routing, and for the source address it is using the IP of VPC1 or VPC2. I will fill it with the IP of VPC1 first, which is this. And then for the action it is using the the mark routing. And for the new routing mask, it is the same like the routing table, in the table in the routing. So for the new routing mask, I will fill it with the Mango ESP1, and then can click apply. VPC1, and then you can click apply, and you can copy it and change the IP. We'll change the IP in the source address with IP of the VPC2, and for the action I will change it into VPC2. Then you can click apply, and then I will add in the routing information. You can go to IP and then routes, and then click add. For the gateway, I will fill it with the IP of the ESP1 that connects to the MikroTik client, which is this. And for the routing mark, I will fill it with the Mango VPC1, and then you can click apply, and then you can click add again. And for the gateway, I will fill it with the IP that connects to the ESP2, which is this. And for the routing mark, I will use it with the VPC2, Mango VPC2, and you can click apply. So for the Mango, it is still the same like before, or the routing rules in the table. I will check the ping to the Google. From the VPC1, I will try to ping to the Google, which is using this. I will check the trace, and as you can see, VPC1 is using the IP of ESP1. If it's want to connect to the internet, I will try in the VPC2 to connect to the internet, and I will check the trace, and it is using the IP of ESP2, which is from the VPC2 it is connected to the IP in the MikroTik client, and then it is connected to the ESP2, and then it is connected to the internet. So the configuration of Mango is successful. So that is my presentation. Sorry for any mistake or misunderstanding. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.